Welcome to SATV News. This is Nure Alamin with the headlines. Up to 1 lakh army personnel to be deployed for upcoming elections, said ISI Secretary Akhtar Ahmed. Many people disappointed by disunity among politicians after uprising, said Fakhrul. July uprising martyrs are also freedom fighters, said Rizvi. EAB chief flags security risk at Sharjah airport following deadly fire, urges the authorities to ensure speedy settlement of insurance claims. Now in details. Senior Secretary of the Election Commission Akhtar Ahmed has stated that between 90,000 to 1 lakh army personnel will be deployed for the 13th national parliamentary elections. A dialogue was held today at the Election Commission with representatives of law enforcement agencies this morning at the EC office in Agargaon, Dhaka to discuss measures to ensure a free, participatory and fair election. After the meeting, the EC secretary said the environment is conducive for holding the elections. Around 90,000 to 1 lakh troops and 1,50,000 police personnel will be on duty. In addition, 5,50,000 Ansar members will also be deployed, he also added. Regarding recent incidents of arson, he said the matter was not discussed during this meeting. On the issue of looted weapons, the EC Senior Secretary stated that 85% have been recovered and efforts to recover the rest are ongoing. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir today said that many are disappointed by the disunity among politicians after July uprising. He also said that this is the politicians who shape the destiny of the country. They either create the path or destroy it, and this is the rule of political history, added the BNP leader. Mr. Fakhrul made this remark as a chief guest at the discussion on the development of the education, health, social development and insurance sector, and at a reception ceremony for students who achieved GPA 5 in the SSC examination. The event was organized by the Parikrama Social Organization at the Institution of Diploma Engineers in Kakrail, Dhaka. During the event, Mr. Fakhrul also commented that sometimes political leaders take this action the nation a great height and other times they bring it down to a very bottom. At the same time, he said, if politics exists only to accumulate wealth and personal gain, it will earn nothing but public heart. This is what the nation witnesses on August 5, 2024. He further said the July uprising has once again created a historic opportunity to build a prosperous and beautiful Bangladesh. Meanwhile, BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi today said the martyrs of July uprising in 2024 are also freedom fighters. Just as the freedom fighters were martyred in 1971, so long are the martyrs of the July uprising in 2024 of freedom fighters, he said after paying wreath to the grave of Shahid Imam Hassan Tayyim Bhuiyan, who was martyred in the July uprising of 2024. The Itbarpur of the Chandina Upazila in the district. Mr. Rizvi further said the world martyr is not just about sacrifice of an individual's life. It's about freeing a nation from the shackle of subjugation. The defense today placed arguments before the International Crimes Tribunal 1 in a case filed against 3 accused, including ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, over their alleged role in orchestrating crimes against humanity during the July-August mass uprising. Advocate Muhammad Amir Hussain, state-appointed counsel to defend fugitives Sheikh Hasina and former Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal, placed argument for as high-profile clients. Advocate Zayad bin Amjad, counsel for another accused, former Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Al-Mamun, who has already pleaded guilty and has become an approver, was present in the courtroom. Earlier, the Chief Prosecutor, Mahmoud Tajul Islam, placed argument for 5 consecutive days, presenting different documentaries made on the July mass uprising audio record to the telephonic conversation between Sheikh Hasina and different person, among other things, before the court. He also referred to the testimonies of the prosecution witnesses and drew connection between the crimes against humanity committed to suppress the mass uprising in a systematic way. A total number of 54 prosecution witnesses testified in a case and were cross-examined by the Defense Counsel. Muhammad Hatim, president of the Exporter Association of Bangladesh, has said that businessmen, export-oriented industries and foreign buyers are concerned over the recent fire at the cargo village of Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport in Dhaka. He stated that such incident clearly indicate that the security system at a cargo village is inadequate and inappropriate, pose a serious safety risk. He also warned that Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport itself is at security risk. Mr. Hatem made these comments during a press conference organized by the EAB at a hotel in the capital's Karan Bazar area today, following the fire at a cargo village. He urged the authorities to ensure the speedy settlement of insurance claim for damaged goods and call for the creation of a special government fund to provide compensation and assistance for a business or individual whose goods were uninsured. He also emphasized the need for the modernization and expansion of the cargo village with enhanced safety measures. Muhammad Hatim, president of Exporters Association of Bangladesh, has said that businessmen, export-oriented industries and foreign buyers are concerned over the recent fire at the cargo village of Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport in Dhaka. He stated that such incident clearly indicate that the security system at a cargo village is inadequate and pose a serious safety risk. He also warned that Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport itself at security risk. A fire broke out in the Bagadi Chatpur caused by a gas cylinder leak at a food hotel, destroying the goods of 7 businesses. No casualties were reported. The incident occurred on Monday around 7:30 a.m. near at the Bagadi Chaurasta bridge on the Chatpur-Raipur road, confirmed senior station officer Muhammad Sanwar Hussain of Chatpur North Fire Station. Local residents said the fire reportedly started around 7:30 a.m. from a gas cylinder at Kokon Raja Hotel. At the time, many people were inside the hotel, but everyone evacuated safely. The fire then spread to nearby shops. The fire service was informed and arrived at scene around 8:15 a.m., managing to bring the fire under control by approximately 9 a.m. Senior Station Officer Muhammad Sanwar Hussain stated, "We received the fire report at 8 a.m. and reached the scene by 8:15 a.m. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
খেলে পড়ে মাথায় দেয় হাত, যুবক যুবতীরা খেলে পড়ে এদিক ওদিক তাকায়।
ছেড়ে দে শয়তান, ছেড়ে দে, দেহ পেলে আমার মন পাবি না, ছেড়ে দে।
কোন ফলের বীজ নেই বলো দেখি দাদা, বলতে না পারলে হবে তুমি গাধা।
মন্দিরা চক্রবর্তী কার সাথে প্রেম করছে?
আমি এখন মা হতে চলেছে।
চিনেছি তোমারে আকারে প্রকারে, দিনের আলো রাতের আধারে।
কোন বাসায় শুধু দুজন থাকে, দরজা জানালা ছাদ কিছুই থাকে না?
পা, পায়ের নুপুর, ছন্দ,
মনে হচ্ছে কি ছু দিয়ে জাদু মন্ত্র।
এক্স্যাক্টলি।
পায়ের নুপুর আমার।
অরিক্স স্পেশাল সেলিব্রিটি শো তারকার ঝলক দেখবেন প্রতি শুক্রবার রাত 9:30 মিনিটে।
ভালোবাসা একবার তুমি বউ কইয়া ডাকো।
হ্যাঁ গো,
আর কত দূর?
আরে আমি তো ফিডের গাড়ির লগে।
তোমার গরু হাঁস মুরগি মাছ তো অনশন শুরু কইরা দিছে।
কি কও, অনশন শুরু কইরা দিছে? কেডা? হাঁস মুরগি মাছ।
আরে ওগো মতি গতি দেখা মনে হইতাছে এসএফএন ছাড়া কিছুই খাইবো না।
হ্যাঁ গো, এসএফিটার খবর ওরা জানলো কেমনে?
আরে ভালো জিনিসের খবর ছড়াতে কি আর মাইক লাগে?
Welcome back and you are watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. US President Donald Trump said the ceasefire in Gaza is still in place hours after Israel's military said it carried out a wave of strike against Hamas. The IDF said it would resume enforcement of the ceasefire after Israel and Hamas accused each other of breaching the deal. Strikes begin in southern Gaza on Sunday after the Israel military said terrorists fired an anti-tank missile and gunfire towards its troops in Rafah, killing 2 soldiers by evening. Israel said it had hit Hamas target across Gaza. According to hospital sources, 44 people were killed by the Israeli strike. However, Hamas said it was unaware any clashes in the area under Israel control. It was committed to the ceasefire but accused Israel of violations and warned strikes could push the situation toward a total collapse, added the group.
Of all buildings across the strip.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday convened a cabinet meeting to vote on officially naming the Gaza war as the War of Redemption. The war that started after a Hamas-led surprise attack on Israel border communities on October 7, 2023, was initially named Iron Sword by the Israeli army on October 8, 2023, shortly after a video of Netanyahu heading the cabinet meeting and explaining his reasoning behind the demand remaining was published. Fire exchange started in southern Gaza Strip despite a US brokered ceasefire deal. The Israeli government and Hamas have been accusing each other of violations of the ceasefire for days. Bolivia's election winner Rodrigo Paz said on Sunday he will end the fuel shortage gripping the country after winning 54.5% on the vote, defeating his opponent Jorge Toto Quiroga. Paz made this remark after the Supreme Electoral Tribunal announced preliminary result and the Quiroga conceded defeat. The 58-year-old senator win marks a historic shift for the South American country, governed almost continuously since 2006 by Bolivia's movement to socialism or MAS, which one enjoyed overwhelming support for country's indigenous majority. In late September, Paz unveiled plans for a $1.5 billion economic cooperation deal with U.S. officials to ensure fuel supplies. The new president takes office on November 8.
A partir del 8 de noviembre, que a Bolivia no le falte sus hidrocarburos.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Sunday Kiev is now striking Russian oil refineries nearly every day. Speaking after talks with Commander-in-Chief, the Alexander Zelensky said the strike are intending to bring Russia back to reality. The Ukrainian leader told U.S. President Donald Trump on Friday in Washington Ukraine has thousands of drones ready for an offensive against a Russian target but needs American missile. Trump didn't rule out sending the Tomahawk missile but appeared cool ahead of talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Hungary. Zelensky spoke by phone with European leader after meeting Trump, said he was counting on the U.S. to pressure Putin to stop his war. In his video address, Zelensky added that Ukraine is preparing a meeting of the coalition of willing in the near future. U.S. President Donald Trump said in a recent interview he is not a king one day after millions of people across the U.S. participated in rallies denouncing what they view as authoritarian tendencies and unbridled corruption of his presidency. During the Fox News interview, Trump also discussed the state of trade negotiation with China in response to a week of factions back and forth between the U.S. and China. Trump responded to new export control on the rare earth mineral from Beijing, which the reimposition of 100% tariff on Chinese export to the U.S. and they forced me to charge them what is the equivalent to 155 to 157%. Adding, but look, they have a very smart leader, and I think we have a leader that wants to make a deal because I think that's smart and he is smart. Trump remains on track to meet Chinese leader Xi Jinping in South Korea in late October.
To destroy China, but
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump on Sunday called Colombian President Gustavo Petro an illegal drug leader and said the United States would cease large-scale payments and subsidies to the South American nation. The purpose of this drug production is sale of massive amounts of product into the United States, causing death, destruction, and havoc, Trump said in a Truth Social post. The Colombian embassy in Washington, D.C. didn't immediately respond to the request for comment. The U.S. State Department referred questions to the White House, which didn't immediately respond to a query. Relations between Bogota and Washington have frayed since Trump returned to office. Last month, the United States revoked Petro visa after the joined to a pro-Palestinian demonstration in New York and urged U.S. soldiers to disobey Trump orders. A jewelry heist at Paris Louvre Museum has cast France in a deplorable light, Justice Minister Gérald Darmanin said on Monday as opposition politicians criticized the government for what they branded a national humiliation. Thieves on Sunday broke into the Louvre, one of the world's most famous museums, using a crane to smash an upstairs window, then stealing priceless objects from an area that houses the French crown jewels before escaping on motorbike. The theft is now being called the heist of the century. What is certain and what if failed, the Darmanin told French Interratio, saying that heist gave a negative and deplorable image of France. The French people all feel like they have been robbed. Meanwhile, French Culture Minister Richido Dati said the operation lasted almost 4 minutes. The break-in raised awkward questions about security at the museum, which is home to artwork such as a Mona Lisa and which welcomed 8.7 million visitors in 2024. The museum remained closed on Monday. Colombian Prime Minister Juan Manet said they did their utmost to ease recent tension with Thailand during an address to the official opening of the newly built Technophen International Airport on Monday. Juan Manet made the remark to an audience of largely government ministers, officials and airport staff. The priority was to minister impact on people and restore normalcy while working towards a resolution to stop the conflict. He also added, Juan Manet also thanked U.S. President Donald Trump for his part in the mediating the ceasefire with Thailand in his speech. The $2 billion airport hailed as a new gateway for global connectivity replaces Phnom Penh's old airport, which served as the country's main international gateway for nearly 7 decades since 1959.
Para configurar ese gran ejército y por eso
Residents of Roxas in the Philippines, the Capiz province, were evacuated of rubber boats early Sunday morning as heavy rains brought by tropical storm the Francian inundated roads in the central Philippines. A video provided by Philippine Coast Guard shore. The Francian, locally named Ramil, made landfall early Saturday over the province of the Sorsogon, packing maximum sustained winds of 65 km per hour and gusts up to 90 km per hour, according to the Philippine Weather Bureau. The storm is moving west-northwest across the main island of Luzon and is expected to bring widespread rains over the weekend. The Francian slightly weakened over the province of Samar, but may re-intensify once it leaves landmass on Sunday. The storm is projected to leave the Philippine area, a responsibility by early Monday. Local government have urged residents in flood-prone and coastal communities to prepare for evacuation, while fishermen with small vessels are advised to stay ashore due to rough seas. A cargo plane flying from Dubai skidded off the runway into the sea while landing at Hong Kong International Airport early on Monday, the city's airport operator said, with local media reporting the death of 2 people. Emergency personnel were seen headed to the scene of the incident where a Boeing 747 cargo aircraft with Air SATV Lively was seen partially submerged in water near the airport seawall with escape side deployed and the nose and the tail sections separated. The 4 crew members on board the plane were rescued. The Hong Kong airport said in a statement 2 people were inside ground vehicle near the runway that was suspected to have been struck by the aircraft have died. The South China Morning Post reported, citing police. The northern runway at the world's busiest cargo airport is closed after the incident, said Hong Kong airport, adding that the south and central runways would continue to operate. Before ending, we go through the SATV News headlines again. Up to 1 lakh army personnel to be deployed for upcoming elections, said SC Secretary Akhtar Ahmed. Many people disappointed by disunity among politicians after uprising, said Fakhrul. July uprising martyrs are also freedom fighters, said Rizvi. EAB chief flags security risk at Shah Jalal airport following deadly fire, urges the authorities to ensure speedy settlement of insurance claims. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.